How's it going? We're just gonna dive right in because we're a full 20 minutes late today. But that's fine. We're just gonna roll with it. I'm a bit of a scattered mess this morning. Going through the whole running out of medications thing. Chat. Good morning, Draven Heart. How are you? There we go. Let's turn the overlays on. Let's see. Yeah, I'm a bit scattered and brain fogged and, you know, quick to anger. Jumping at some of the people on social media saying silly things. But I'm at least physically feeling better that I was able to get a shorter, not the full week's worth, but at least a little bit of my kidney pain meds. When I start going through withdrawals on those, that's a real physically distressing sort of thing. Of course, now the med that I don't have right now is the one that keeps my brain mostly screwed in properly. But we're yep. So I might be quite a bit more stammery and losing my train of thought and all that sort of stuff today. But I figured it was worth to just pop on and go live anyway. We might catch some new eyeballs. Every once in a while we get somebody from Twitch that comes in and decides to donate. Like, most of the donations seem to come from Blue Sky, but Blue Sky, it's so easy to get dragged into nonsense lately. Like, ever since the huge influx of Twitter users, there's just so many people that are just like, their entire purpose in life is to be as annoying and contrarian as possible and make the most ridiculous bad faith arguments. And it's way too easy to start getting caught up in everybody dunking on these jerks before you realize, oh wait, this person clearly is trying to do this. Waste all of our time, you know, everybody getting mad and replying to them and arguing over silly nonsense. But I've tried to get better about just you know, spotting that sort of stuff and turning away from it, but when my brain starts unraveling, it's way too easy to get pulled into it. Yeah, my primary, like, clusters on Blue Sky are mostly trans folks, communists, and sex workers. Maybe also furries and artists, I would say. But I was mostly the communist and trans folks that I migrated over here with originally, like way back in the early days of the site. But uh yeah. So with all of the all the communists and anarchists and socialists and whatnot that I follow, it's all the politics ends up in the feed, you know? Yeah, it's kind of weird because I follow so many sex workers because I used to be a sex worker, and I try to like have solidarity with them and like help them out with their mutual aid requests and all that sort of stuff. But I also try to keep a generally not explicit, you know, posts on for people that follow me because I don't want to be one of those nobody under 18 look in my direction. It's like I'm raising teenagers. Like I'm kind of concerned with the content that teenagers consume and those sort of things, and I'd like to produce content that teenagers can consume. So I try not to repost anything really sexually explicit, even though like a quarter of the people I follow are sex workers. It does make it like a little bit difficult though, because some of the sex workers I follow will put like nudes in all of their mutual aid requests, and it's like I can't really push your I don't know. I mean the muting tools and whatnot on Blue Sky are pretty good, so it like if everybody has their settings right, it should block it, but still I prefer not to boost explicit stuff if I can avoid it. uh Anyways, um theoretically we're gonna do some art. Let me see if I can stream. There we go. Let me get my chat up over here so I can get it down off of the big monitor. Sure, we'll do a... How is this showing up? Part of the problem with using Rebel and OBS is it, all the little pop-up windows don't show up in OBS, like the thing where I just selected the canvas here. You couldn't see that at all. Oh well. Where's my little stylus? Here we go. So I just signed up for a NeoCities website. Everybody's doing old school websites. It's a trend. Let's hop on the trend. Let's be one of the cool kids. I did start. I threw some of my mad old school HTML skills up in the tutorial, and then I tried to toast a bagel, and when the toaster popped off, the power cut out, and I lost everything I had typed up. So I don't have a in-process NeoCities website to show off at the moment, but I figured maybe we'll do some like artwork for the background or something. I was thinking maybe we'd have it like kind of look like an old photocopied zine or something. Oh, my Wacom tablet turned off because I didn't use it for so long. Let's see. Oh, why are you brown? Oh. Why are you in the way, Stencil's box? Actually, let's make this a little smaller. Not that small. Oop, I didn't mean to hit that. Bumped the button accidentally. I have no idea what. Ah! I'm making a mess of this. I started this whole thing at the wrong end for what I decided to turn it into. But erasers exist. Please, dog, stop barking. You're not helping my brain function. Yep. It's a constant thing. Yeah. It's the neighbor's dog. And also, there's a dog walking park, you know, like 30 meters that way or whatever, and sometimes there's a whole bunch of them over there really going wild. Right now, it's just the neighbor's dog barking at somebody, but... Man, I swear if I ever have my own piece of land I can do whatever I want with, I'm gonna dig a hole in the ground and build my bedroom, my studio, everything's underground. I'm not gonna be able to hear nothing. It's gonna be quiet. Because I'm gonna have like 4 feet of dirt between me and the world. You're gonna have to set off a nuke outside to distract me. Might be having to do that anyway because of climate change, but I'm gonna say it's for my misophonia. Like, that is the one, like, solution for permanent habitation I don't know if a lot of people are talking about is, like, wildfires, hurricanes, all that sort of stuff. I mean, hurricanes could still be a problem building underground because of the flooding if you don't take enough appropriate water mitigation uh, practices, but still, it prevents a lot of the, like, direct kinetic impacts of natural disasters. Of course, living underground tends to drive humans crazy because we crave the sun. I understand that very well living in this tent with my very dim lights. I'm not really arting a whole lot here. And yeah, I should probably start taking vitamin D if I'm gonna be in here so much. Like, this little... Ugh. I've got like 10% of a headache, and every once in a while it just like jumps up for a minute. Spilling ashes into my Wacom tablet case. I'm not doing a great job at whatever I was trying to do. I can't seem to draw for shit today. We're gonna give up on the whole thing I was trying to do and just goof off. We're gonna put more color on this page, more darkness, because it's too white. It's too bright in my face in this dark tent. So we're just gonna make it nice and gray. Oh, we're getting not lots of lag there. Oh, let me try, let me turn pause diffusion. I'm using pastels. I don't need the diffusion processing running. It's just gonna lag my stream. sometimes it's for some reason freezing up just in this one spot at the bottom of the image. Oops. Oh, not precision mode. Well, it's definitely turned into a slideshow. I guess we're gonna go to Facecam for a little bit and let OBS catch up. Yep. It's my computer loses itself. Because the video card can't keep up. So it starts taking forever to encode each frame. And like the buffer builds up. So I have to switch it over to just running the camera without the chroma effect or any of that stuff. Well, I got a thumbnail, sort of. Actually, I might pull a different one. I keep getting frustrated because after your stream, when you go into the Twitch stream producer and like you can watch the VOD, but the controls stay up on the screen when you pause it. So if you want to pause it on a certain frame and take a screenshot, it's got the Twitch VOD controls like overlaying the frame. So a lot of my VOD thumbnails lately have the Twitch controls on it because I can't be bothered trying to find a way to work around that, or taking screenshots while the video is playing and hoping to catch a good frame. And like it seems like a function that should be built into the Twitch VOD editor to be able to pause on a frame and get a clean screenshot. Oh, I see you did a NeoCities website. Yeah, I still haven't started. I haven't uploaded anything on mine yet. But I'll be trying to get to that over the next hours or days or weeks or however long it takes, you know. Speaking of which, I should put that in the book so I don't forget about it. It's the 15th, yes. Your city site. That'll do for now. Oh, yesterday I didn't check things off. We got the laundry and the bedding done. I never did find. Well, I haven't gone to the store. I want to get a metal tin of some sort that I can make charcoal in. Yeah, I registered mine on Church of Harm Destruction. I might do a different one at some point. I don't know. I mean, I never last longer than a year or two before I decide to redo my whole you know, web persona anyway. For a while there, I was flipping through characters and bits and things, sometimes juggling multiple of them at a time. But, yeah. Yeah, I I used to do HTML websites back in the day. I I actually remembered basically everything in the tutorial on the NeoCities website. I on the first page of the tutorial it was like, "Hey, replace Hello World with Willow's website or something." And I was like, "How about H1 Willow's website, horizontal rule, 80%. We'll do a new paragraph and some, you know, blah, blah, blah." I basically did like 80% of the tutorial on the first page of the tutorial, just screwing around. I wish I had taken a screenshot because that happened before my power cut out because I tried to toast a bagel, so I didn't save any of it. I might see if I can melt this jar down into the corner. I'm getting awfully queasy. Gotta try to heat this kind of carefully and evenly so you don't put too much thermal stress in the glass and have it shatter on you. I've been meaning to look up. I wonder how feasible it is to recycle these little glass jars, like if you can melt them down and like blow them into glass figurines and bottles and vases and that sort of stuff. Certain types of glass are better for remelting than others. I know these ones definitely explode if you heat them up too quickly in one spot. I've done that before. But I've never really tried to get them up to melting temperature. I'd like to get a crucible and see if I can melt a bunch of them down. Because I've got, like, fucking so many of them. Because I'm a hoarder, like, they're little cool glass jars. Of course I'm going to hold on to the little cool glass jars. But I get a new one, like, every week. So now I've got a bajillion. I've got a big old box full of them. So it'd be nice if I could, like, melt them down, do something artistic with them. If I can't melt them down, I can always, like, put a bunch of them in, like, a surface, either like a piece of wood or, like, some clay or plaster or whatever and have lights behind it and have them act as like little refractors for lighting. Have like a wall with a bunch of glass circles in it with light behind it. I think that'd be a pretty cool effect to make like a background for a scene. Maybe do it as part of like a cylinder, make like a spaceship with a bunch of the little glass windows in it. That would be pretty cool. But I do want to see about melting them down. I think that would be fun. Do some glass art. Gotta be careful not to get it too hot though, because then it'll start smoking off and you'll just waste all the extract that you went through the trouble of melting down in the corner. But at the same time, you want to try to get all of it to melt down. Yeah, I've seen those before. I've thought about trying to do something like that. Get those earth bags, and you just fill them up with dirt, pack them down, build stucco around them and whatnot. Seems like a pretty neat building style. I'd like to go out in the desert, see how it agrees with me. I think the clean air might be good for me considering how allergic I am to the world these days. I haven't spent any time out in the desert since my my COVID. There. I'd say we got about one and a half hits melted down in the corner of that jar. That'll hopefully settle my queasiness a little bit, settle my brain a little bit. But this was already a reclaim jar, so it's already gonna, to some degree, it'll settle down my wanting to fight everybody, but it's gonna bump my general fogged and flaredness up a little bit because of the combustion byproducts from the reclaim. It's one of those things where it's like, well, on one hand, I'm kind of making things worse, but on the other hand, like, really don't want to go through a whole spiral that occurs with when I just go cold turkey without this. That would be much worse. You know, being a bit unproductive and confused, I suppose, is better than going out to fight the cops. Oh. Come on, thing, unclog. Oh, that hurt my lungs. That's the other problem with Reclaim is it's harsh. It's like breathing fire. No, it's not that bad, but it's I don't know, it feels like breathing like a big hot lung of campfire smoke or something. Just leaves you with that heavy like here. I'm gonna try to do something. I'm gonna hold on, let's save. Where did my keyboard go? There we go. Um, um, I'm messing around with my OBS. Sorry. The antithesis of content. Somebody fiddling with their computer while you can't see what they're doing. There. Brain fog corner. I should just make this a separate scene. I can just pop into it whenever I start going, I've been attacked by the brain fog demon. Ah! 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 Here, there we go. That's a the thumbnail. Let's see if I can get a wait, here. If I stick this in the right place, I can actually take a thumbnail with OBS instead of worrying about. Of course, I've decided I want to do a thumbnail with two hands in the frame. So I've got to hit my hotkey to take a screenshot with my foot. Luckily, I put my hotkey to take a screenshot on F12, so it's on the edge of the screen, edge of the keyboard. Hit and go. There we go. Let's see how that turned out. There we go. That'll work. Excellent. Oh, let's move my keyboard so I'm not just kicking it, pushing random buttons, making things happen I'm not intending to on the computer while I'm streaming. I mean, we are in Brain Fog Corner. I do need to, like... Oh, let me log. Oh, no, not that. That's definitely wrong. The wrong button. That button. Okay. I need to rework a lot of my OBS stuff. My deck hopper is kind of a mess. It's full of buttons I don't actually use. And I'm thinking about maybe migrating from Sammy to StreamerBot anyway. Cause I don't know. The visual the visual scripting language in Sammy, sometimes it's helpful and sometimes it's just too much junk on the screen for my brain to keep a focus on. And there it is. Put it on this. And plus, Nervous Hair, check him out, twitch.tv/nervoushair. He showed me there's a plugin for auto posting to Blue Sky when you go live on Twitch that uses StreamerBot. So I was thinking I'd set that up. Like, I had looked at StreamerBot when I first moved back over to Twitch from YouTube a while ago, but the UI kind of frustrated me. But it was kind of like 6 of one, half dozen of another terrible UI with Sammy. So maybe I flipped the coin the wrong way. Might be worth trying out the other side of the fence to see if the grass is greener. Oh, my brain, my head, my 10% headache is more percents. Filter. I need to just put this on a... I need to somehow map this to a slider on my MIDI keyboard so I can just like turn the brain fog up and down depending on how I'm feeling. Like one of those little slider pins that, you know, people wear that say how capable of interacting with people they are. I can turn up the brain fog background. How brain fogged am I? Am I a little brain fogged or am I a lot of brain fog so it hurts to look at? Ah, the brain fog, it blinds, it blinds. Or just a tiny bit of brain fog. You can't even see. What is that, brain fog? Is that brain fog or is that just a smudge on the church walls? Or is it the brain fog? Ah! Well, that's fun. Are we doing the slideshow dance? Let's see. Let's hit play over here and see what it looks like. Okay. Let's see if that'll work. Or if it's only gonna do the tried to make a clip when I had just opened the VOD and realized it was right after the point that I wanted it to grab. Here, I'll drop it in the Discord general chat and see how that works. Not exactly. Okay, how do I close this? Go away. Go away. Uh. Where did my losing track of stuff. Let me put this away before I lose it. Ah. And there's the thing that I was looking for underneath the thing I decided to put away. Almost like drilling myself into the habit of constantly cleaning up actually has some benefits. Like I've like forced myself to just like constantly be putting things where they belong and tidying up and organizing, and it's gotten to the point where even when my brain starts running out of my ears, I'll like come to like 2 days later and the place won't really be that much of a mess, and I'm like, how is it still I was like what? It's wild. I say that and then immediately lose the thing. Oh no, it's right there. Speaking of which, let's put all these things away. I need to change the blade on this. A fresh blade should be, yes, right where they belong. That would have been embarrassing to just talk about how organized I am and then not find the blades, but indeed, they are right where they belong. I am, in fact, somewhat organized. It just constantly amazes me because for quite a good portion of my life, I was not the organized person in the vicinity. I went by the giant piles, and it kind of worked because I could just remember what was in all of the piles. Like, everything was a disaster, but like I knew how it all worked. But I can't function on the giant pile system anymore. I have to have places for everything that I habitually put them in order to remember where they all are. My capacity for constant inventory has been greatly diminished. I got a bajillion X-Acto blades for hardly anything. The little plastic case likes to fall open, so I put a piece of tape on it to hold it shut. That seems to fix the issue. Certainly don't want a bunch of X-Acto blades just raining all over the place. There. That's the other thing fogging me up is I just ran out of fresh pipe tobacco, so I'm having to smoke ashtray tobacco again, which also is full of combustion byproducts that increase the brain fog. Ooh, I'm making a mess. But the nicotine helps recondition my acetylcholine receptors that have been all clogged up and tore up by spike proteins. So let's mark that. Oh, and it's time for my kidney pain meds again. Got them and the nicotine about synchronized right now. They're both on 2-hour cycles. Ooh. Ooh. Getting a bit wobbly with the old proprioception there. Here, we're gonna turn the brain fog up. Oh, that's a bit much. We'll go about. I always fog up a little bit harder right after I take these meds for about 5 minutes or so before I suddenly swing back up in functionality. So I'm like, yeah. Yeah. There's all sorts of stuff that I really want to like work on, but I'm just really not functional enough to mess with it. Like the woodworking and stuff, I can't even. That's why I decided to do a digital art stream today. I'm just The I'm sailing on minimum risk reward ratio, you know. I screw up doing digital art. Oh, well, I've got an ugly brain fog JPEG. Damn. Sucks for that. But if I screw up on building the workbench, then I could theoretically like split the beam wrong or mortise a big ugly hole where there shouldn't be one, or I mean, most of that stuff could be worked around, but except I don't know. But either way, I mean, well, the real failure conditions doing woodworking is you shove a chisel in your femoral artery and bleed out on the floor live on the internet. But so that's more of the yeah. Destroying my piece of reclaimed lumber is not the worst case scenario. If I start messing around with hand tools when I'm not brain here good with. Yes. Oh, you know what? I'll change we're gonna go to, here. I changed categories to just chatting. Might as well, since I just did that, let's try to stimulate the algorithm a little. Let's poke the chat with all the links and some beeps. Beep boop. Boopity. Boopity beep. Up the activity graph we creep. I don't know why there's a trailing E there. Typo. Typo. We typo as we go. Okay. Razor blade box, where you belong. Do you also want to be part of the song? Ooh. I get a chill often right after I take those meds. Alright, we're gonna we're gonna be right back. Alright. Let's turn them down a little bit. Uh. Well, I think I might just punch out here. Let me see if I can, I technically have 2. Do I? No, I've got 1 viewer. Never mind. I was gonna say I've got 2 viewers, I could do a raid, but I don't. Oh well. Anyways, thank you, Dravenheart, for coming by, hanging out.